video, I am going to discuss about the definition of thermodynamics. Dynamics. What is a system? What is a surrounding? And what is boundary? Apart from that, I am also going to discuss about the different types of systems. And what are they? They are open system, closed system, and the isolated system. Okay. Now let us see that what is the definition of thermodynamics. So the definition of thermodynamics says that it is that process by which we convert the disorganized form of energy into organized form of energy. Now what does that mean? That means, let's say that there is a lot of heat that is available with us. Heat is there, and it is also a form of energy. This is energy, okay? But in order to utilize it, we have to convert this energy in the form of an organized form that we are calling as work. So thermodynamics is nothing but it is the branch of science that tells us how we convert a disorganized form of energy such as heat into an organized form that is work. Now before starting, it is important to us that we define different terminologies that are used in thermodynamics. So the first terminology is our system. In system, what is system? So for thermodynamics, system means that wheresoever my attention is focused. Let us say that there is a room and in this room I want to calculate different properties such as pressure, volume, temperature at this point. Now my focus of attention is this point, and so I can consider this region as my system. That means now I have not to do that what is happening here. My only focus is this system and especially this point. Now other thing that we should see is it is arbitrary. Now if I want to calculate the property at this point, it is not necessary that I take this only as system. I can take this also as system. So the choice of system depends that how easily we can calculate the property. Now there can be a possibility that if I choose this as a system, then the calculations are easier when compared with, let's say, if I call it as A and I call it as B, then if I select B as my system, then the calculation of the properties are easier. So choice of the system depends upon that whether depends on us, and with any kind of system the results should be same. Results should be same. Okay. Now the next thing is surrounding. So what is surrounding? So anything that is external to the system is surrounding. That means, let's say that if B is my system, this is my system, okay, this is my system, then this part is my surrounding, okay. So this part is my surrounding. Considering that this is the universe, I will talk about that what is universe. So anything that is external to the system is surrounding. So simple. Now what is boundary then? So the I should say that the thing that separates the system from the surrounding, it will be our boundary. Now one thing that one should focus here is, it is not necessary that a boundary should be physical. It can be imaginary also. It can be a real boundary. Imaginary boundary, for example, in case of a turbine, there is no wall, but we consider, in case of a turbine, we consider this as our system. So there is no fixed, let's say that if I consider that this as a system, so there are no walls here, but we are considering it. But if I will consider only this as my system, then there are fixed walls. So here the boundary is real. So boundaries can be real or imaginary. It can be fixed. For example, here the boundaries are fixed. There is no change in the volume. But if we consider that there is a balloon, for a balloon, the boundaries are flexible. That means the boundaries can be fixed. It can be flexible. It can be real. It can be imaginary. Now, after talking about system, surrounding, and the boundaries, the next thing is, what are the different types of systems? Now, talking about the different types of systems. So the first system that I want to talk about is the open system. So what is an open system? An open system is a system in which both mass as well as energy interaction takes place. Okay. For example, again turbine. In turbine, the steam goes inside and it rotates the shaft and then it comes outside. So mass is going inside, that carries energy, and that mass is leaving from the outlet, and again it has some energy. So it is the example of an open system. Why? Because it is carrying both mass as well as energy. The second thing is the closed system. A closed system is one, so it carries both, open system carries both mass as well as energy. A closed system is one in which there is no mass interaction, only energy interaction is there. For example, a piston cylinder arrangement. In case of a piston cylinder arrangement, the mass cannot escape, only the energy can escape. You can feel it in the form of heat. So such a system will be a closed system. Now the last is an isolated system. Okay, so what is the isolated system? There is no interaction of mass, neither there is interaction of energy. So ideally it is impossible to create such a system that there will be some leakage, because every material has some value of K, that is the thermal conductivity. So that is a different concept, but every material has some value of K. That means no material can be perfectly insulating. So what is the example? But to some extent, what is the example? The example is the thermoflask. Thermoflask is in which we keep hot drinks and cold drinks. Okay. In those containers, you can see that the fluid that you are putting in remains in the same state for very long time. That means there is no mass interaction, that liquid is present inside the container, and also there is no energy interaction also, because that if you have put a hot fluid, for example if you put tea inside that, then that tea will remain hot, so there is no energy transfer also. So to summarize, I can say that what is thermodynamics? Thermodynamics is a branch of science by the help of which we converts the disorganized form of energy into organized form of energy. What is the system? System is that part of the universe where our attention is focused. What is surrounding? Anything that is external to the system is surrounding, and the thing that separates the system from the surrounding will be the boundary, and the combination of all the three will be our universe. Okay. Now, apart from that, we studied about different types of system. So there are three types of system. The first system is the open system, where there is energy interaction as well as mass interaction. For example, turbine. Closed system, where there is only energy interaction, no mass interaction. For example, piston cylinder arrangement. And an isolated system, where there is no mass interaction, neither energy interaction. For example, thermoflask. But that can't be 100% ideal insulator, but to some extent we can say that it is an isolated system. Okay, thank you. Okay.